Welcome back, Gaming for XP. I hope you are all well and enjoying this build, the Hilltop settlement build. Last you left us, we'd started building in the trees here, and today we'll really ramp it up into kind of turbo mode and do a heap more building up the top here. It's a really, as I said in my last video, this has been a really enjoyable build for me. I am loving it. And what we're going to do, what we're going to start off is we're going to chuck a few of these prefabs in here, like that, and just see what happens with them. And I don't want to use the standard prefabs. I want to use something a bit different, so I'm going to flick through a whole lot of the different prefabs in a while, and what I end up doing is I come up with a wee building that kind of suits the space, and a little bit later I do have an idea what I can use this space right there. Okay, and I'm challenging myself here to use a prefab and then turn it into something completely different, and let's see what happens. What I also want to do today is to start to work on getting various levels of this build into place. So we're going to do that. We're going to start to put some levels in and just see where it goes, because that's the thing, that's the beauty about building in Fallout. That's what I love about it. You just start building, and it takes you on, a lot of the time it just takes you on a little journey, and it's amazing what you end up with. Now you can see here I'm trying to figure out how to now get that second level sorted out. So here's what I come up with. I'm going to put some walls on so that I can snap a floor on like that, and then I can put the ladder on the end of it. There we go, don't need the wall anymore. But it does get, if you do it that way, it does get your heights sorted out straight away, so that's okay. Another couple of floors there, but that's fine, I don't mind. Might just push that back, and this is all part of building. You just find these kind of areas where you've got to try and figure out how to get this all to work, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to get everything to work. Push that up into there. There we go. And the height I know is right now, so it's just a case of building around this ladder here. I may have to take it out, put a floor in, and then put it back in just like that. But luckily these ladders are very soft, so there's no dramas in doing that. That will just clip straight into that like that. There we go. So now we've got the heights figured out, and because we've come down, there isn't any way to go up yet, so we have to go the way around. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. It was one of those things that I used to struggle with. One of those things I used to struggle with when I first started building was the fact that I felt everything needed to be supported, and you couldn't have things hanging out and stuff. In this build, I really had to stop myself from saying, "Oh, that's not supported. This is not supported." In the end, it all will be supported because of the way I'm doing this build. So don't worry about it too much if you're freaking out a little bit about all this stuff floating in midair. It will all become apparent once we get this build underway. So now we've created a second level quite easily, and I want it to be a series of walkways. And like I said in the last video, this is an idea that I've had in my head for quite a long time, and just really never had the right area or settlement to build it in. And I was doing another build. If you haven't checked out my Fixing Up the Commonwealth series, which I go back, look at all my old builds and then try and redo them, given how far, and see how far I've progressed as a builder. Check those out. They're becoming extremely popular on the channel, and we're having a lot of fun. We're actually building at Sunshine Tidings at the moment, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. So I'd done a building in that settlement, a bunker building, and I'd used a little bit of a tree in that build, and that's kind of what sparked this build here. So like I said, it was an idea I had in my head for a long time, but I just hadn't figured out where to do it and how to do it. So and I'm still figuring out where and how to do it in this build. So you would see I've put those railings in from the scaffolding materials, and I just really put them in to try and define the walkways a little bit as opposed to the other buildings. And just try and get my head around how this is all going to work. One of the big things that I have always tried to concentrate when I'm building is how the whole thing flows and how settlers would use a kind of settlement build like this. So I'm always trying to be conscious of that when I'm building, without trying to stunt the creativity at the same time. So I'm going to put a couple of walls in here, and snap in OK. And now I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do here. So as you build a settlement, as you would know, if you've been doing it for a while, you'll try an idea, and that's why we've cut to here. You try an idea, it works or it doesn't work, and then you move on. So we're going to go and sleep in a bit because it's starting to get a little bit dark, and then we'll come back when it's a wee bit lighter. Okay, sun is shining in the skies, and you can see I actually like how that's starting to have various levels and tiers, and all starting to look really interesting. That overall look of the settlement, really starting to think it's going to look incredible once we get it all done. And that's the thing about Spectacle Island, there is so much room here to work with, and yeah, the boundaries are kind of almost limitless on Spectacle Island. So I want to continue. One of the ways that I do this is to have these walkways, and I'm still trying to figure out which way we're going to go, how many levels. We're probably going to have about 3 levels on this one, I think, and we're going to put in lots of foundations, so we might just speed this up a little bit as we continue kind of to the build and put foundations in and try and build little huts here, there and everywhere. And I'm sure you know how to put a foundation in, so it isn't overly exciting. What I did try and do for this one is to try and use some of these carpeted floor pieces from USO, and sometimes it's better just to put them in first, and try to mix up lots and lots of different pieces and textures and colors, just to try and see if I like things that are kind of not kind of standard, box standard builds. Try and use all these different things. Now this does give me a little bit of a problem because of the height of it, but we will get there. We'll get that in place, and I think I end up changing this door out for something else in the end. I don't think you see it in this build here. So find somewhere to put it down, but again, just trying to get that pop of colour, try to get it to look uniform, not uniform, but trying not to let it spaz out like that. Just trying to make it look different, but and that's the hard thing with Fallout, is to try and make it look different, but at the same time look as though it all works within one settlement. So usually you don't have too much of an issue to do that. It usually does work pretty well, and you can see my brain at the moment is saying that whole thing's floating. It shouldn't be floating, but you have to control yourself. Well, I do anyway. I don't know about the rest of you, but let's try and get this as close as possible to where it needs to be. About there, I think. And we'll put some more walls on. Now, one of the things you've got to be careful from is the fact that when you're using different materials, they may be different heights, and therefore it can cause you other issues with things poking through floors above you. So just be conscious of that when you're building like this, that you may run into those kind of issues. Okay, we're making pretty good progress. I'm just looking to see how we can block that up. See if there's anything. And again, pieces sticking out and something that's weird and wonderful is, the weirder the better. Now I'm actually running a challenge at the moment. Just launched that on Friday on the channel. First challenge we've done on the channel, and that is a weird, wacky and unique building challenge. If you want to participate, go to the channel. We'll leave a link above so you can just click on it, but the real basis of that is just to have a bit of fun for people that watch the channel on a regular basis. And let's just see who can build the craziest single building or single idea. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what people come up with. You guys are a really creative bunch, so I'm really excited to see what happens with that challenge. Anyway, it's all explained in the video if you're interested in having a bit of fun and just doing a little bit of building. So let's get back to this build. So I'm not really sure where this is going at the moment, but anyway, that's what tends to happen when you're trying to figure things out. The orange building went well. The blue one is work in progress, really, but all good, all good. So again, I'm looking for inspiration here, looking to use some different materials. USO, I know I keep going on about it, sorry guys, but it is really, I'm really enjoying the freedom that it's giving me and the different ideas that it's actually allowed me to start generating. And some of the pieces are pretty forgiving too. As you can see, this one's pretty soft, and it's ooh, there we go. First official fall off of the day in Fallout. Ironical, really. And you can see I'm getting a little bit of frame drop. Now you would have spotted, if you were real quick, that what I was speaking about earlier, that orange door is kind of is sitting up, it is poking through, sorry, above, and so I'm going to have to come up with a solution, and I think in the end I have to put a different door on in the end. There we go. So this is starting to look, or starting to come into something. Now one of the issues that I'm going to have here is the fact that I've narrowed the walkway there. Just put that in there. Maybe put a banister, maybe that would fit in there. There we go, like a little window. Come on, come on, stop fighting me. These are the little things that can take you. You can spend 10 minutes trying to get something like this in, still not straight. Anyway, I think that I'm going to have to use the look down method, which you have to get really close, look down, and then adjust it from there. That'll probably work. We'll just anti-shimmer it for now. Okay, all good. It's one thing that I do have some ends that will work there, but those kind of rounded ends, I wish that they would put textured end caps so that we could block those up. That's always a challenge. There is a couple of metal ones that will work, and again I'm going to vary them up. I'm using thematic and practical with those single walls, and again metal and wood combined rather than just sticking to all metal. Now you can see now I've kind of have an issue there, and I've run away from it, but I've got to come back and fix it. I've had an issue there with the walkway and how the walkway is going to function around the corner, but that's all starting to look pretty good. Lots of floating houses. So I've cut out the part where I ran and had a look at this and came back. I do that a lot when I'm building. Standing back and just looking at something like this helps a lot, because you get to see what areas of the build you need to work on, and it also possibly comes out, gives you an idea what pieces you need to use, just like it has here, where I've got this round piece that will fit into there and block that wall up like that. And again, I wish we had textured pieces like this that matched the walls, but anyway, that's, I mean, you're really not going to notice that too much. I've never been able to figure out why we haven't got pieces like that. We're just switching everything back on, and we'll leave that as is. I need to kind of sort out that floor a little bit, but anyway, stop me falling through, but we will do that off camera. So moving forward, I'm liking where this is going. Obviously that needs a roof there, and then I think, well, so I need to put a roof of some kind in there. Why? It would make sense to use this area here as some kind of building, given that there's a roof there and that's extended the floor a little bit. So I'm really starting to think about this a little bit further. Now I realise, okay, I have a problem. I can't get around the corner there now that I've done that, so I'm going to have to extend the walkway around, and maybe not that one. Yep. There we go. There we go. And round and under the ladder. Put that there. Probably one more single piece so we can get round the corner. Ooh, try not to go up the ladder. Yep. That all zigzags through there. Perfect. That all works very well. Now you can see that door. I'm trying to figure out that door. I won't show you the struggle, because like I said, I end up changing that anyway. So we're going to run upstairs here. Now this little platform here, I want to be a little defensive area. It's one of the highest points in the settlement, and it's overlooking, it's got a pretty good overlook both sides, so it makes sense that this would be a defensive, something defensive up here. And first of all, we've got to block it up so I don't fall through, like that, which doubles up as a roof, I guess. A little bit clipping there, but I'm not too worried. Got a very good overview of anybody that's decided they want to come here and raid the place. First of all, what I do is I take this out and put a defensive platform in, see if that works. I think I end up having to put that floor back in, but let's just see if this will work first. Like that. It's not going to work because of the roof. Oh well, it's worth a try. Okay, plan B. Let's put the floor back in and see what else we can do here. Yep. There we go. And what I try and do a lot when I'm building is not to try and have things repeating. So I'll put different floors in, you'll see in a sec. Or angle them going a different way. Take that out for now. Put it down somewhere. I'll do. Just to kind of vary up the overall look. I know it's a small detail, but for me, I think it helps to sell the overall look of the build. And this is going to be special now. It's not going to go back in. Okay, so let's put some railings around here. Some different railings to what we've already got, and just to define it a little bit for now. I was thinking about a roof here, but I don't know how we'd do it with the tree poking out there. But anyway, we'll figure something out. That doesn't want to snap there, but we will put it there. Put a railing there. These railings are a bit tricky for vanilla extensions. Sometimes they'll snap, sometimes they won't, for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Just anti-shimmer that. We got, and we might just bring that anti-shimmer that one too. We've got a little guard area up here, which we will work on a little bit later. And I'm really just going to use a very similar technique to what I did in the quick build video that I did for a defensive tower. I put a couple of posts in, put a bit of a roof, see if we can get it to go through the tree or around the tree. These roofs are pretty forgiving, so hopefully it will. We can always just leave a gap like we have there for now if we need to. But actually that's gonna work no problem at all, which is good. And again, it's just giving it a bit of a definition that it is a guard station, and it has a little bit of a roof here, and we will do some decoration up here and put some guard stuff in. So here we go. Let's push that across so it gets under the roof. There we go. Beautiful. too easy. Nice little defensive area right up the top of the settlement. Yep, I like it. So guys, we're making pretty good progress on this settlement build so far. I'm really liking where this is going. We got a lot done today, lots of little buildings put in. We'll run downstairs and have an overall look of it. I hope you're enjoying the build. If you are enjoying this, leave a like for me. Send me your comments with some ideas of what else we can do. And we'll catch you next time on the channel. See ya.